Hey, what's going on, good people? It's Gardner Douglas, your Oyster Ninja. I'm here today with the Baltimore legend with so much street cred, it's crazy. The infamous, we shaking your head for that. Mr. Nick Schauman.
What's up, G. Douglas, my ninja? What's up, people?
What's going on, Nick? So if you guys don't know that famous fuzzy face, that is Mr. Nick Schauman of the local freaking Oyster. Uh-oh. Okay, we got it. Nick, what's going on? How you feel, man?
I'm feeling well. All things considered, it's hot as hell. We're negotiating and navigating some crazy times. The restaurant industry is a freaking whirlwind, but at least we're having fun, right?
No doubt, man. So I'm glad. So Nick is like a beast of all worlds. He can shuck oysters. He can make you a drink. He can open up a restaurant. He can do all of the above. So he's been on every level. Am I right, Nick?
My official title is cruise director and assistant plumber.
There we go. There we go. So he can give us like kind of insight of like everything, man. So as a restaurant owner now, man, just the crazy times that we're in, and you're in the middle of opening up one and are, trying to get it up and going. Like, how does that feel? You're in the beginning stages. How's that feel with COVID and everything, man? Take your time.
It's not easy to put it lightly. We're chugging along. We've got our 2 locations up here in Baltimore running the best they can at this point. And like you mentioned earlier, Arlington's kind of on hold, and we're working on a New Orleans concept in the Remington neighborhood. Actually been working on it for about 3 years now. So why not keep at it during this?
No doubt, man. That's crazy. I'm excited to see that New Orleans, man, because like you say, y'all have been talking about it for a while, and, it just sounds perfect,
Well, I think Baltimore needs something like it, and we've got some really cool people involved. I don't know if I can let the cat out of the bag, but we're doing this with our business partner, Ed Reed from the Baltimore Ravens, New Orleans guy. So, we're excited to get it open, get some music going, pour some drinks, shuck some oysters, have a party.
No doubt, man. So just give the good folks, man, how you even got in the game, man. Right.
Long story short, I've had so many ideas over the years, and most of them I didn't act on. Then there was a time about 10 years ago, I was pretty much starting over, and I had this idea. I was actually in Ocean City, and I think it was I can't remember the name of it, over by the Crab Alley there, and they had all-you-can-eat oysters. It was like $15 to get in, and the place was mobbed. And I was like, wow, this is a pretty neat idea. So I brought some oysters home one night and shucked them with my neighbors, and it was fun. And then he asked me if I could do it a couple weeks after that, as folks were coming into town from Chicago. They wanted some fresh seafood. I said, sure. And then some more people showed up. And we got the grill out. We got the steamer out. We had some beers. And my neighbor Larry up the hill here, he's 75, 76 right now. He was like, I think you should do this. So that's kind of how it started. A friend of mine asked me to come shuck oysters at his house, my buddy Derek. And then we started doing it once a month up in Hamden on First Fridays. And that kind of turned into a thing. And the rest is oyster history.
No doubt, man. No doubt. Nick, the local oyster. So how, like, what was like part of the stupid stuff is what catches, man. People love stupid stuff.
Yeah, and I've been doing it for 7 years now, and I can't stop. I'm stuck. All I ever wanted was a snowball stand, really.
Well, you still got time, man.
Oh, well, we do. We're opening a snowball stand on Friday.
You know what I'm talking about? See what I'm talking about? That's crazy. So and you've been doing a lot in the community too, man. I've been seeing like a bunch of your Instagram stuff with like giving food out and stuff like that. You want to talk a little bit about it?
Yeah, sure. You know, I mentioned that we partnered up with Ed and the Ed Reed Foundation. And we've been doing a lot of work with the Booker T School over in West Baltimore, Booker T Washington Middle School. We've been doing, you know, toy drives and turkey drives at Thanksgiving and Activity Day. And then, you know, when the need arose, we started talking and we said, let's do something for the kids and the family of Booker T. So we started putting meal kits together, and we did that for 10 weeks, and we delivered 10,000 meals to the folks in West Baltimore. So
that's awesome, man.
Yeah, it was really cool, and just, you know, it warms your heart when you get to give back.
We got to put you up there with Jose Andres, man.
Were you at the Sweet Life Festival that we were shucking? I don't know if you remember that. It was like Kendrick Lamar and
I was there, yeah.
And Jose Andres came by, and I remember force feeding him an oyster. I was so nervous, and when he ate it, he said, "This is the best, cleanest oyster I've ever had." And I said, "Thank you, Chef Garces." I called him the wrong. Hey.
Come on, like, Nick.
He said, "I'm Jose Andres, not Jose Garces."
Oh man, it happens, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Not anymore. Dang. Yeah, okay. That's a memorable experience.
Yeah.
So the local oyster teamed up with True Chesapeake. That's got to be a plus, having your own oyster farm.
Yep. That's kind of when the little curbside pop-up started turning into a real thing. I'm sure you know Patrick Hudson, and I'm sure a lot of you people out there watching do too. But yeah, when we decided to start doing events together, and you know, we met for a beer, and he said, "Let's make a pact. Let's sell 100,000 oysters this year." And I said, "Am I allowed to cuss on the podcast?"
It's your world, man.
I said, "You're fucking crazy." And damned if it wasn't, I think it was like 7 months later, we'd shucked 100,000 oysters on the streets of Baltimore. So yeah, he's the smart one behind the operation. I'm just the one with the weird Hawaiian shirt.
Don't be modest, Nick. Don't be modest.
Nah.
So growing up in Baltimore is like a crazy seafood scene. Like, and of course, shucking with Big George and things like that. Like, who else was like popular in the scene when you were like in it, or when you started?
I'm I mean, raw bars have always existed in Baltimore, but there wasn't any one person that was kind of like uh, doing what we were doing at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, oysters. Well, we're in an oyster renaissance, and over the way, met a lot of great people, like my boy Dylan at Dylan's Oyster Cellar. They've been doing amazing things and amazing food, and I can't seem to beat them in a shucking contest for some reason.
Me either, Nick. Me either.
I got him once, but I think he was having wrist problems or something.
Right.
And then, you know, everyone knows Jasmine over at Urban Oyster, and she's been rocking the game and, you know, doing the grill thing at all the farmers markets and the events. So, yeah, there's a few of us up here in Baltimore doing it.
Mm-hmm.
When I thought that traveling oyster bar was a good idea, I Googled it, and there were two people that came up. It was Brooklyn Oyster Party, I think. Brooklyn Oyster Company, Brooklyn Oyster Party, good guys, talked to them, and the Oyster Girls out of Tomales Bay in San Francisco. So I actually called them up and I said, hey man, ladies, I'm Nick, I'm in Baltimore. I want to do what you guys are doing in San Francisco. And they were great. And, you know, they gave me some tips, and off to the races we went.
Talk about your personality, man. I think that's a huge part of any business. Come on, man. What's up? I mean, you gotta have a personality behind the knife. It can't be just a knife.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a goofball. That's for sure. You know, I like grew up watching old Saturday Night Lives and SCTV, and you know, staying up late to watch the funny shows and Johnny Carson and that sort of stuff. And yeah, I always put on a show in elementary school. I did magic shows and breakdancing shows. I don't know. I'm a glutton for punishment.
No doubt.
But yeah, I mean, what was the question?
Personality. You got to have a personality behind the knife. How important is that?
It's huge. I mean, that, you know, the first time you and I worked together, we all know that there are people who can shuck oysters and there are people who can talk. It's just like a bartender. But until you can actually shuck oysters and talk at the same time, that's when you kind of like get to that next level. And I'll, you know, probably for the first year I was doing this professionally, I couldn't do both at the same time. And then, you know, once you get, I don't know, you tell me, 500,000 oysters under your belt.
Yeah, at least.
You get comfortable with the knife.
Right.
And feel your way around. And then it's just, you know, people ask all the time, like, that must be hard. Or how many times have you heard this? How many times have you cut yourself?
Right, of course.
Once. You only have to do it once.
That's the answer.
It went in here and it came out here, and I was walking around with a knife sticking out of my hand. It didn't hurt until I pulled it out. Oof.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it comes with the territory. Who George always says it, you know, Big George. It was like everyone's always smiling at the oyster bar. So you gotta keep the people entertained.
So basically, so what's next for you, man? I know hopefully we want to see you get the restaurants back opening up and everything, but Wh- what's your COVID plan?
COVID plan. Ooh.
Ooh,
Oof. Okay. So I think we shut everything down on March 16th and then 17th and 18th. And it was just kind of like bump, 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 flip, 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 turn off the lights. And, the local Oyster essentially started doing street fairs and festivals and music concerts and stuff like that. So, I was like, well, there are no more festivals this year. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? So I started turning the wheels and came up with this dumb idea. They're doing it in a couple places throughout the country now. And we're working on a drive-in music festival.
nice,
Yeah.
nice, big dreams, man. Nick is
You,
always on it, ahead of the game.
it's like life gives you lemons. Make a music festival.
There you go.
Socially distanced COVID-19 virtual like applications and that sort of thing. I don't know. I love Zoom though. It's fun.
Zoom is very fun. It gets the job done.
I haven't put pants on in like 2.5 months.
That's the Nick I know.
Yeah, I'm just having virtual meetings in my underpants.
Right. So, Nick, if you've heard anything that I've done, I always give you guys tons of props because I say it was two things that changed my life, and that was social media and the local Oyster. After the local Oyster and social media, man, it was a heck of a wave, man.
That's how we met.
Yeah.
I remember like just getting started, and we were doing our first event in DC, and I went straight to Instagram and DC Shucker, boom, G Douglas SS Shucking, I think it was at the time, and we started talking on social media, and then we got together, and then we started knocking out thousands of oysters at the National Harbor.
And having a great time while doing it.
Yeah, it was awesome. And I gotta ask, I'll never forget you had a video, I think it was your dad shucking oysters with the hammer.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Can you like put that back out? Because I've looked 5 or 6 times for that video, and I can never seem to find it anymore. It's been 6 years.
Right.
To see that, and I still hear that tunk 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 click, tunk 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 click, tunk 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 click, and like when you're shucking really fast, some people sing songs, or you just get like a rhythm or a beat in your head, and it's like there it is. Plimp, pump, 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 plimp, and that's how we roll.
No doubt, that's how we roll, man, for sure. I'll tag you in it, man.
Put that back, man. People are going to see Gardner's dad, Sam, shucking oysters with a ball peen hammer.
Yep.
It's amazing.
The man, the myth, still shucking away.
He started to
Nick, appreciate you for taking time out your day, man. I know you're busy and you got tons of meetings with no pants on and all of that. So appreciate you. And just keep us posted, man. And of course, let us know all the Instagrams and Instagram waves. And I don't know, you say it better than I do.
Interwebs.
Interwebs. There it is.
That's it. Cool. Well, thank you so much for having me. I've been waiting. It's been so much fun. I want to do it like every other Tuesday and occasional Fridays.
Boom. There it is.
Nice.
We can make it happen.
Yeah, and to all the oyster-loving people out there all across the planet, I know the ninjas got you hooked. When you find yourself in Baltimore, come check us out. Tell them Gardner sent you, and I'll I'll, I don't know what I was gonna say I'll give you that, but I didn't want to say that.
No doubt, no doubt.
I'll give you a free hug. How about that?
Ooh, free. Goodness gracious. Man, that's a blessing.
Virtual hugs.
Virtual. 6 foot hug. All right, good people. Y'all can find this beautiful fuzzy face at the local Oyster on the IG web. Just search local Oyster. And what's it? Local Oyster Boston, or what's that one?
Well, it's at the local Oyster, and yeah, we're just local Oyster now. We consolidated both accounts.
Oh, okay.
It was kind of getting crazy going back and forth and back and forth. So
I feel you.
be
Okay.
local.
Even better, and can't wait to see what else you guys push out, man.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Stay strong. Let me know what I can do to help promote, or whatever I can do. I'm here for you, man.
Likewise. Love
All
you.
right.
Love you, G. And give a virtual hug to Junior for me.
All right, man. I will for sure.
All right.
All right, brother.